Yay. Okay. And can I just say, I just got off my, I have a weekly meeting with my life and business coach. And all I can think of is like, just get me to this campground. I am beyond, I know I'm putting this together for everybody. I didn't realize life events were going to happen and how much I personally need this. And Dan knows, every once in a while things happen in my life and I will turn to him and say, I need to be in the mountains. It's my call. That's what I need to do. I need to disconnect. And at the end of the day, that's what I want for you guys. Moment of, we always say as women, yes, I'm going to take some time. Yes, I'm going to spend time by myself, or yes, I'm going to plan, even go on a retreat. And we always say we're going to do it and we don't do it. And we need it more than anything, quiet time. So that's exactly why I'm putting this together. I'm going to share my screen. I actually had someone ask me, is this going to be a kumbaya? We're going to hug and kiss and do all the things. I'm like, no, that's not exactly what we're going to be doing on this. Although we are reclaiming our inner fire. I truly believe that when we go on these camping trips, like that person, that woman that gets to the campsite is not the one that comes home. So first and foremost, this is our itinerary. I should probably, so that you guys can see it better. Let me go ahead and click present. Okay. Okay, there we go. Oh, maybe that doesn't help. Hopefully it does. Okay, so I wanted to first give you the so far the itinerary that we will be working with. Okay, we're gonna get there on Wednesday. I think everybody's getting there Wednesday night. Optional, you stay at Canopy by Hilton, because we are leaving first thing in the morning. The van departures at 9 a.m. If I see everybody's here this night, I may do this early pre-camp meet Wednesday night. So that's what I mean by this is subject to change. Okay.
How far is the Canopy from the airport?
Good question. The Canopy, if I remember correctly, don't quote me on this. It's something like 20, 30 minutes at most. It's not far. Okay. And I think I even looked like with traffic. Good question. I will get that information for you. So then Thursday, we're going to hit the ground running. We have vans, and this is what is included in your package. We have transportation from that hotel Thursday morning to our campground. Any transportation, if we need, will be provided as we're on the campground. It depends on which hike route we're going to take. We have one in mind. But if for any reason we can't take that, we have a backup and transportation will be included. Transportation back to the airport Sunday is also included in your registration, so you guys know. We will be setting up, it is a very immediate immersion in quiet and calmness once we set up camp. Like that's really what we're going to be doing, managing. Obviously, Christine's going to be managing our kitchen and cooking, and I'll talk a little more about that, but we are basically just having lunch. We're going to set up our tents and just do first impressions and really just find the way of the land, walk around. We are in a gorgeous setting. This picture is not just a pretty picture. This is literally our view from our campsite. So I love to get somewhere and just walk around and just take it all in. So that's what we'll be doing on Thursday. On Friday, we start with some morning, I shouldn't call it yoga. It's movement, gratitude. Our guest speaker will be speaking to us that day. We'll also we'll also do some activities in the campground. And then of course that will include lunch and dinner and reflections. All our meals obviously is included in your registration. Come Saturday, same thing. We'll have our morning movement and gratitude. And then we will be doing a hike and / survival skills activity. No, this is not naked and afraid. This is not going to be oh my gosh, if I get lost in the woods, let's practice and what do we do? That's not at all what that's going to be. Just some fun, cool, activities that I really love to. I guess my purpose to me is digging out what you're capable of, but not in a not in a scary way, just like a fun activity, and really team building type stuff. And then of course we have our dinner and reflections. Sunday morning, we will have breakfast and cleanup, and then of course, transportation to the airport. Make sure if you haven't booked your flight, that you have booked your flight no earlier than 2 p.m. I have my mind in getting to the airport around 11:30-ish, 12. I want to make sure everybody has plenty of time to get through TSA. Okay, logistics, like I mentioned, transportation, after a pre-camp meeting to the site, and then from the campground to the airport, that's included. Sleeping arrangements. I have tents for everybody. However, I totally get some of us want to bring our own tent. That is totally okay. That's totally up to you. Sometimes we want our own personal space. But right now we have 1 to 2 people per tent, except for my tent. My tent has 3 people. But there's about 2, I think we have 2, and then we have 2 or yeah. Anyway, plan for 2 people per tent. I also want, you will be receiving a survey, but I want to know, are there any food allergies and restrictions? So after this meeting, be on the lookout for the survey. I want to know certain things, starting with obviously food allergies and restrictions. If you're bringing any of your own equipment so that I don't rent duplicable. I just don't want a bunch of equipment that we're not going to use on the campground. Less is always more. So I want to make sure that if you're bringing something, that I'm not getting something for you. I will also have sleeping bags, but some people like to bring their own sleeping bags. I have optional if someone prefers a cot because they have back issues or whatnot, I can provide that too. So like I want to, otherwise we do have sleeping mats. I do have, it will also include your sleeping bag if you don't want to bring yours, obviously a tent. I also have camp chairs. I also have lights, lighting gear, height gear, that kind of stuff that will be included. So you don't have to worry about that. But what do you need to bring? Okay, so packing. Preferably a duffel bag, not a hard-sided carry-on, only because duffels are easier to pile. We have limited seating in limited space in our transportation. It's basically an SUV. So I want to make sure everything fits, number 1. Hiking boots, but it does not have to be hiking boots, hiking shoes, or even sneakers that have good grip. I purposely put a picture of these leaves. Leaves tend to slip. It's not because we're going to be climbing any like high mountains, rocks, or anything like that, but we want to make sure that you have grip because this is the fall season. And when you step on leaves, especially if they're wet, I want to make sure that you have a good grip. I also want to make sure that you have sneakers to hang out around the campground, as well as to do our morning movements. High socks when we're hiking, obviously. I want you to bring flip-flops, and the flip-flops is for the sole purpose of taking a shower. Well, sometimes people have the slip-ons and then they want to walk around the campground with the flip-flop. That's totally okay. Flip-flops and or slip-ons, but what I mean is like rubber shoes, because I want you to have something while you're taking a shower. I probably should, you don't need to bring a bathing suit because we're not going swimming, but some people feel uncomfortable taking a shower outside. So if you want to bring a bathing suit, you're welcome to. I honestly don't, you'll have an entire tent. It's actually a shower tent that you'll be using to take a shower. Clothes. The weather, I will be sharing in a chat our weather, what the weather is going to be a week prior, so you can like plan accordingly. Right now, we're expecting anywhere between 50s and 60s. That's what we're expecting. That can change either way, warmer or cooler. I prefer it cooler. because it's just, that's really nice when it goes to camping. So let's see what happens. I'll let you guys know. You want 2 travel outfits. You want 2 to 3 workout clothes. The reason for 3 is because sometimes we just want to change out of our hiking clothes and just put something comfortable like a workout outfit. And by workout, I mean usually leggings for morning movements. 3 comfy layer warm tops. Just even sometimes even like boating shirts, like just a long sleeve that you can layer on or off. We want, I'm honestly bringing only 2 hiking pants, but I always put 3 just in case, hiking pants or jeans. This, by the way, can be 2 if you're bringing 3, and this can also be 2 if you're bringing 3. So like, just keep that in mind. And I always say bring an extra warm sweater just in case. Again, we will know exactly how cool it's going to be, so that obviously I'll update you guys in terms of your packing list in clothing. Vanity, you want a quick dry cloth and towel. What do I mean by that? Those moisture wicking, and I can send you a link if you want. Most of us have things, that kind of stuff at home. And by the way, it can totally be a regular towel, no big deal. The reason I say quick dry is because we may or may not have anywhere to hang it. So like sometimes I'll just hang it like on one of the, what do you call it? One of the stakes or one of the poles of the actual tent. And so I like to put it away. I don't want to leave it out. If the wind blows, I don't want my towel to get like dirty. So that's, I always have a quick dry. I don't want you guys to feel like you have to go out and buy a bunch of things for this camping retreat. I will provide everything for you. But it does make it easier. One, I have a little cloth about this big that's quick dry, and it's what I use to do this to like, but you don't need it. And I'm going to explain that in a minute. But you definitely want a towel size, preferably not a very thick, long, big towel, because it's going to take up a lot of room. And remember, we want to keep it carry-on size. So just keep that in mind. The other thing that you're going to want is bath wipes. I will share with you what I mean by that. I'll have to go online and I'll send it to you in the chat. But they are basically, I don't know what the exact word, I should have looked it up. They basically, I don't know, when my kids were little, the moment you add water, it suds. So they're not regular wipes for like when babies, or even for clean your hands. If you add water, they sud, and you don't have to bring soap. They already have soap within the wipes. And so when you add water, it actually suds, so you can use it and literally even throw it away. And it's also biodegradable. Anything you bring, please, unless you're bringing it back, including Ziploc bags and all that, you leave absolutely nothing, no trash. So unless it can be burnt in and biodegradable, you're going to pack it right up and bring it back home. That includes wrappers, that includes Ziploc bags and anything. So I should have added, you may want to bring Ziploc bags. That I find that helpful. Those are little tips and tricks of the trade that I'll obviously add in our chat. And I think, is that it? I think that's it. So now I want to open it up to any other questions that I can answer. That's it?
Are the showers going to be like a pop-up type thing like we did, or no, that is your shower, is the wipes?
No. There will be a pop-up shower. Okay, so I'm glad you mentioned
like a Pico, like a Blue Missions type shower?
Correct. So I am going to, have you been on a Blue Missions? I don't mean Pico. Blue Missions actually, okay, so and Christine and I are going to meet on the shower situation. We're going to talk about that. I am going to have an actual water tank, if you will. Now, if that tank does not have enough sunlight, the water won't warm up enough. Therefore, I will have to warm up water over the campfire and then bring that over like in a bucket. So at the end of the day, you will have a shower. There will be a spout. There will be a shower room, but it's a tent. So just keep that in mind. Slip-ons and flip-flops are definitely something that you're going to want, because you're going to be standing on the floor. And so you don't want your feet to get dirty, if that makes sense.
Okay.
And then the tent, those shower tents usually have like a little hanging string so you can hang your towel. And then I will always put a camp chair right outside of the shower tent. So you can put like whatever you can put. This is what I'm gonna change into because you don't want to wet all your clothes that's hanging inside the tent while you're showering. You'll see when I get there, I promise. But to answer your question, this is not Blue Missions or Pico where we're only taking wipey baths. That's not what, I mean, you are welcome to, but that's not required. I like running water. And then from that point is where the roughing it ends. We will be having gourmet food. We've got steaks. We've got delicious like oat things. Like we're going to be making really yummy food, these stuffed sausages, like all kinds of things. So I want this to be pleasurable. I want you to be comfortable. Will we be in tents? Yes. We'll be showering outside, kind of sort of in a tent. Yes, but that's where the roughing ends and the nice and luxury begins. What else? What else can I answer for you? Uh-oh, you got stuck. That's
Hello?
it?
Yeah.
You're good?
I'm
Awesome.
good.
Awesome, awesome. Christine, is there anything you think I missed or didn't talk about? Okay, perfect. Awesome. All right, ladies. Well, thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm going to stop recording